Hey folks, it's Jeff. This week we're going to take you all the way back to July of 2022 as we first take a look at the Disney Wish. We've had some awesome news come out this week about Disney Cruise Line, and we thought it would be great to put this at the top of your list. We'll see you next week with a brand new show.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Diz, a show that gives you everything you need to know to help make your Disney vacation as magical as can be in just about 20 minutes. I'm your host, Jeff Coviola. With me each week is Disney Master Sandy from Easy Diz by Instant Impressions Travel Services. Sandy, how are you doing tonight?
I am actually pretty tired, Jeff.
Well, it's late. Truth be told, that in our recording time, we are recording, burning the midnight oil, as they say. Because you are on a pre-inaugural sailing for the newest Disney Cruise Line ship to hit the fleet. I am so excited to talk to you about it because it's just incredible. We've been waiting for this. You have video of it coming into port as it was coming to Port Canaveral. I'm very excited. I'm sure that, we won't get to all of this in one show. Where do you want to begin? How do you want to talk about it? Give us an intro.
I am tired because we have 72 hours on this ship. And the first thing I'm going to tell our listeners is, while I love a 3-day cruise and a 4-day cruise, you're never going to see it all. And I've tried to see it all and do it all. I've taken several hits for the team. We've done some 2 dinners a night seating so that we can get all the restaurants in.
Sure.
There is so much jam-packed into this ship, and it's just phenomenal.
Well, and so we're not going to attempt, to be perfectly fair, we're not going to attempt to do all of it in this show. This is going to be more of an overview show. I'm going to try to let you hit all the notes, so to speak, and then we'll kind of maybe go into more detail in a couple other shows. Does that sound like the
I think
right
we'd
plan?
have to change our slogan to 200 minutes or less for me to cover it all tonight.
Well, we don't have 200 minutes. As I said, it is late, but I do think it's really, really important because they've had a couple of these pre-inaugural sailings. You're among the first folks to actually enjoy this excursion. So let's just kind of start, I guess, it's an overview of the ship to begin with. You've been on many of these Disney ships before. How different is it? How familiar is it from the layout that those of us that have cruised with Disney Cruise Line before have grown to know and love?
I think you hit it. It's both. It is very different, yet that familiar feel. You enter just like we do on all 4 other ships. You enter into that lobby, and I think they've really heard. Every time you take a Disney cruise, they say to you, that comment card is so important. And I see the results of the comment card on this ship. So that lobby that you enter is bigger than ever because we know sometimes we end up there in the rain, and sometimes that's where there's a lot of character things. So we start in a grand lobby with a grand chandelier, 3 stories, lots of space to see it all. And uniquely, you're greeted by characters as you arrive up on the balcony, making their wish and welcoming you to the Disney Wish.
And I will say this, as we're talking about some of this, we've told you it's going to be an overview. You've got a tremendous amount of media that you've been producing since you've been on that ship, whether you go to our Instagram, whether you go to YouTube, Facebook, there's stuff everywhere. So if you're looking for content that we're telling you right now has been created on this ship over the last couple of days, Sandy's been a wild person creating content there. So if you want the visual, it's there.
Over 1,100 photos, and over the course of probably the next 3 weeks, you'll see about 20 videos that really give you an in-depth look at some of the different things that I've been able to experience.
Very cool. All right, so where do you want to start? I mean, I guess maybe ship layout, the things, the general amenities. What's the best way to go about it?
This is the largest ship. It is 15 decks tall.
Wow.
It is 3 football fields long.
Wow.
So plenty of space to do it all, but lots of steps to get in the day. As Disney, we know that they're always working to be environmentally friendly. And so one of the facts that we learned is all of the lights on this ship, and there are literally 100,000 lights, are all LED lights but one.
But
Again,
one.
we know that is the searchlight that has to be of a very specific kind of bulb.
Got it. Got it.
So everywhere they could, they did it. And then we've got this one standout.
Got it. Okay.
Up to 4,000 passengers on this ship for now, and probably for the foreseeable future. It is sailing out of Port Canaveral, so about an hour and a half from Walt Disney World. And it is alternating with 3 and 4 night sailings. So you're going to board the ship one day, you're going to do Nassau one day, Castaway Cay, the private island, and then you're going to have, if you're doing the 4 night, you're going to have a day at sea. So not a lot of difference or excitement to the itinerary, but I'm going to be honest with you. There is so much to see and do on this ship that you just don't have time to get to it all.
So you mentioned 4,000, up to 4,000 passengers. This is the biggest ship. You know, is it bigger by passenger capacity? Is it bigger because there's amenities? Like, I guess let's kind of compare those two. Like, if I were to look at another Disney ship, do we have a number that you could peg it as to what they hold?
Definitely. So it is the largest, both in length and in
Capacity.
height.
Yeah. Okay. Height. Sorry.
Capacity, it's actually not that much bigger than the Dream and Fantasy. And keep in mind, that's a maximum number that's given to you, because
Right.
there are 4-person cabins that sometimes are going to be 4 and sometimes are going to be 2.
Right.
But compared to our original ships, to the Disney Magic and Disney Wonder, there are about 2,700 people. So a good third more on this ship than what we have on the others.
So you mentioned 15 decks, 3 football fields long, can fit 4,000 passengers. You know, one of the things that I found to be my favorite part of the ships when I've cruised with Disney Cruise Line are the pools. And I know that this particular ship has no shortage of that. So talk to me about the pool options.
And it's a favorite of many. And I'll be honest with you, it is one of the top concerns that we get from clients. Family pools on the other ships are large for cruise ships, but not necessarily for a sea day. And what I love about this ship is they made a lot of smaller pools. They're not tiny by any stretch, but there are 5 different family pools you can go in. It means that there's a smaller amount of people in each of them, so you don't feel as crowded. But it also means that for us as parents, there's a lot more easy access to sit close to your kids, sit by on deck. There are lifeguards on duty, but we all know water safety, you should always have that extra pair of eyes. So I love the way it lays out. It really spreads out. They took that, what used to be a single pool deck, and they've kind of tiered it into 3 decks. So the pools are spread out a little bit more. I will also share, don't tell too many people, but there is a great pool at the front of the ship, kind of separated from the others, that is also a family pool, along with something similar to Satellite Falls like we have on the Dream. You can be sitting kind of in a seat with water coming down your back and just a little bit of water on your feet, kind of up to your ankles. So that's great for you. That's great for little ones that want to splash, and nice and quiet and lots of fun. All of those other main pools that I mentioned are also looking onto the giant screen. So you're able to watch some of your favorite Disney movies while you're at the pool.
Which is something that people that have cruised with Disney Cruise Line before have come to know and appreciate and love. There's also deck parties, right? I'm assuming that has not gone away.
It has not. We still have a phenomenal sail away party, and they've redone the pirate party. So it is now the pirate parlay.
I like that.
It is done with live music. So there's a team of musicians out on deck that kick off the party. The phenomenal cruise staff is there to get you dancing and having fun. And then the fireworks go off, choreographed to live music.
Very cool. So again, something that unique to Disney Cruise Line, fireworks at sea, and now you're saying live music attached to it. Very, very cool. Always one of my favorite parts of a Disney cruise is that pirate party.
It was definitely an amazing night. And again, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, super easy, youtube.com/ Let's Talk Diz. Make sure you subscribe. The Pirate Parlay will be up for viewing very soon.
Very cool. All right, so you talked about some family stuff. Let's talk about some of the kids areas. I know that that's definitely a point of emphasis. What I saw from you was the slide that goes down to the kids area over on this ship that unfortunately as an adult, it's like Peter Pan. You can't do it. You're an adult. But talk to us about the kids areas that are on the ship.
I will say they did open that for us. They kind of, I can't promise, but there was definitely some insinuation that during open house time, there may be an opportunity for adults to be up in that grand foyer and slide on into the kids area. And very convenient. Who would have thunk? The slide ends right at their awesome little hand washing stations.
Good call.
So
good call. But I remember seeing the visual, and that's what every kid always dreams of, right? Is having just an indoor slide to end up in an area where they can play. So they've certainly imagineered their way into that one.
They have, and let me tell you, it isn't often that I say that I would trade my life to be a kid again, but the kid areas on this ship are phenomenal. For those that are Star Wars fans, the Star Wars cargo bay is like a scene out of Batu. They've got phenomenal things for the kids to look at and see and really feel immersed in that land. Same heading into Fairy Tale Hall. Chances to see your favorite princesses, read iconic stories, and do lots of great activities. And they definitely do have character meets in all of these areas. Check that digital navigator. I will say I miss that paper navigator, but check that digital navigator so that you can time things for your kids to see exactly what they want to see. Open for them all the time. The Walt Disney Imagineering Lab, they're going to scan their entry band and they're going to create rides. It is phenomenal looking. I have to say, I have never been on a ship and seen the open playtime in the kids club as crowded as here, because there are lots of adults that would like to figure out how to check themselves in there for hours on end. Between the Imagineering Lab, the Star Wars Cargo Bay, the Marvel Superhero Academy, just so many phenomenal things. And also for our younger ones, the Mickey and Minnie's Captain's Deck, great little play area and climbing area for them. But I also want to say, if you've got those little ones, those 6 months, that is the minimum age to sail, to 3 years, the new nursery is phenomenal. The walls have interactive games for the kids. And again, it's all about bringing our favorite characters. There's a spot on the wall with Rapunzel, and the kids can turn a little handle and watch her hair grow. As they move it more, it grows longer. And again, that's just for our younger kids. Edge for the kids that are 11 to 14, Vibe for our 14 to 17-year-olds. I was in Vibe during the open house today, and they have cans of soda and their own machine for hot chocolate and coffee. The kids were all into the video games. There's board games, just so much for them to do. And one of the things that they did on this ship is they've also created what they're calling flex spaces, areas that might be used for larger activities and larger games by different groups, different times, so that they're not limited just to one space. So lots of great opportunity.
Everything that you're mentioning there is like my home. It's like it's everything that you envision your kids wanting to do, whether it's, and my daughter tells me every day, of course I'm going to be an engineer, because she just likes to build things. Meanwhile, in the next room, my son is running around like Spider-Man. So like you're hitting on every possible thing that kids could possibly want to do. I love the idea of the flex space. Bippity Boppy Boutique on board.
But you left out the best part of this for you, Jeff.
What's that?
At the end of the day, when your kids go to bed, you get to clean up.
Yeah.
Not something you have to do on the ship.
No.
So they can take it all out. They can play with new things and create great things. And it's not up to you anymore.
Well, I can definitely enjoy that. But let me ask that question that I had. Bippity Boppity Boutique on board.
Boutique is on board, very centrally located off of that main lobby, a large boutique. So we did see a really big area. Not only do they have a lot more chairs than we've seen on the other boutiques, so we've got the princess makeovers, we've got the prince makeovers, and the pirate makeovers.
Okay.
But they have a whole room dedicated to the clothing. So you can bring your own, don't feel like you have to buy, or if your child just does the hair and makeup, that they're left out. But in the other ships, they really haven't had a lot of space for you to see the dresses and look at the different sizing. And they've really gone out of their way here to make some extra space, plenty of space for parents to sit and watch. So a definite favorite on board. I do highly recommend advanced reservations. Just like all the other Disney ships, you can do a lot of these reservations in advance based on your castaway status, anywhere from 75 to 120 days in advance.
So that was a bunch of kids. There's some kids that'll do some of these next things we're going to talk about too, but there's also some of us that are definitely kids at heart. The first thing I need to ask you about in this particular portion of the program is the Aquamouse. You and I have talked about this water coaster for, it feels like 2 years in anticipation. You got a chance to ride it. So break that down and then take wherever you want from there.
It was amazing. And those of you that have heard me talk, I don't really do coasters. So I will say I went on it with a bit of trepidation. I timed it very well. I let everybody else get off the ship and go to Castaway so that I could go when there was no line. I rode it once. I kind of thought I'd be done. I will tell you, I went 3 times.
Nice.
Very quickly. Amazing, super fun. And again, I have lots of video to share. I'll be sending a video of what you will see, but I was also fortunate enough, and I will tell you that you're in for a good laugh and a little bit of a treat. Disney treated me to the video. They had some of the rafts hooked up with cameras so that they were capturing my face and my screams and my reactions.
Yep.
And you can watch me ride. So definitely, again, hop over to our YouTube channel or our Facebook page and join in the laughter there.
Anything else for kids or any kids at heart that you want to just kind of talk about here?
The Hero Zone is an awesome area. It's a big 2-story area, similar gym-like what we see in the sports deck on the other ships.
Okay.
But I love that this is in an enclosed area because, let's be honest, it's like 90 some odd degrees out there today. Playing basketball and some of these things in the hot sun may not allow for those opportunities. And if you have a cruise where you've got a rainy day, that certainly doesn't. This Hero Zone is a 2-story area. The top floor is everything from foosball tables and ping pong and all kinds of different family-friendly games, a little bit of competitive sports going on. It looks into the main area, which does get flexed and repurposed multiple times during the day. Basketball is there, chip golf is there, and this amazing blow up incredible zone um race.
That
I
sounds fun.
will say it is probably the one saving grace for me, but the one disappointment. My tip to everybody, if you want to run the obstacle course in the hero zone, you must bring your own socks.
Hmm.
I'm a flip flop girl, I'm not wearing socks. And I went to check out the hero zone, capture some of that video for you guys. And then I was going to run the course later, but the timing never worked. It definitely is something that is not available all the time because, as I said, it is a flex space. So if the hero zone and running that obstacle course is important to you, make sure you do it early and when you see that opportunity, because it may not come again.
All right, so we're nearing the end of the program, but there's one area that we definitely need to talk about. I know I've seen some media that you've produced about this, and that's the adult areas of the ship. And a lot of people, when they hear that I'm a Disney person, they say you just want to keep going and being around all those kids. And I have to remind them that at the theme parks, at the hotels, and definitely on the cruise ships, there are things there that are for adults, built for adults to enjoy. Give us a breakdown of the adult areas on this particular ship.
And I think it's not just built for the adults to enjoy because there's a lot of those. And I'm going to cover some of the bars and some of those areas in the next episode, but they are exclusive to adults.
Correct.
There are areas that are 18 and over only, so you will not find a child in it. And I have to say, on this ship, it's a little bit of a toss up for me where my favorite area for adults only is going to be. So, off the back of the ship is the most incredible affinity pool you could see on a cruise ship.
Mm.
And I was there today looking out onto Castaway with my nice little foofy drink in hand and happy as could be in that infinity pool. On both sides of the affinity pool, again, you have that little pool I talked about earlier where you've got just kind of water up to your ankles and a chair that you can sit in and water that goes down your back. So if you like that idea of being wet and being in the water, but you want to read a book and you don't want to worry about dropping the book or your phone in the water, that's a great spot. They've got an adult pool, an adult bar up there. Even in the morning, one of the things that I love, before the bar opens, they've got a water station set up. So lemon infused water, help yourself, all plastic glasses up there so that you don't have to worry about glass ending up on the deck or in the pool. Just super peaceful. You'll also find that the adult area has much nicer lounge chairs. It even has some of those little two-person beds with a little attached table to it. And then one of the other things that we saw them do is not only put multiple hot tubs in, but really spread them out so that you didn't feel like you were on top of people and it didn't get super loud. I must have passed the hot tub a dozen times and I never saw more than two people in it. And I saw it empty sometimes because there were multiple. So really that opportunity to relax and enjoy. My second favorite area, both on the ship and pretty much anywhere I go, is the spa. The new Senses Spa is incredible. I can't tell you with any certainty, but I'll tell you it's probably 3 times the space that they had before. It has a rainforest room to die for. You've all heard me talk about the rainforest room before. This one blows everything out of the water. It's got 8 of those heated chairs. It's got a sauna, a steam room, an ice room, an outdoor area. Again, that area where you can sit and kind of get a little wet. It's got a hot tub. It's got indoor space. It's got outdoor space. Absolutely amazing.
Sounds
I
really,
will
really hard.
say-
Really hard life right there. Sounds really difficult.
It is a hard life. However, I've got to be honest here. If you've heard me talk about the rainforest room before, I talk about it as the best value on the ship, and I really can't say that anymore. The price has pretty much more than tripled.
Wow. Okay.
At the moment, they are not selling single day passes. It does automatically have a gratuity included. So my 3-day pass was just under $200.
Right. That's a lot.
Not necessarily a cheap investment. However, if you're going to spend time there, it's worth every penny.
So one of the things that we had talked about was the Bippity Boppity Boutique, which is obviously there for kids to get their hair done in the princess style. And then you said you also had the pirate theme stuff. There are also a couple of things where adults, if they need to get their hair styled, both men and women, that they can visit on the ship, which I thought was cool.
There are, and again, this is kind of what's the same, what's different. In past ships, that's been part of the spa. Here we have Untangled and Hook's Barbary that are totally separate, different floor, different section of the ship and everything. And I will say, Hook's Barbary is really an experience. If you'd like to have a drink, they've got cocktails there, really a man cave, so to speak, an opportunity to sit and relax and escape everything.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we're coming to the end of the show. It's a little bit longer for our perspective. We tried to get this as close to live to the audience as possible. So anything that you want to leave with us that we haven't discussed, like we said, we're going to do a couple more shows specific to some different things on the ship. But anything that you want to leave anybody with on our overview show today?
We're going to do another show all about the dining, everything from the main dining rooms, the pool dining, room service, specialty dining, and then another one all about the staterooms. They are phenomenal. Again, a little different than what we've seen before. You're listening to the show because you're a Disney fan. And if you're a Disney fan, you're going to want to see this ship. It is amazing. I can't wait to talk to people. And, part of human nature, I think we rank the ship. Is this our favorite? Where does it fall? What do we love about it? And those are the conversations I've had with some of my colleagues on board. And everybody has a different favorite, but it is a beautiful ship with incredible attention to detail. I think I'd have to live on here for the next 2 months to catch all the little subtle touches that are everywhere. So I hope you get the opportunity to see this ship. My team and I would love to help you book this vacation. Again, we've talked before, working with a travel agent is going to be the same cost as working with Disney directly. You'll gain some expertise. And if you choose our agency, we provide a shipboard credit, money you can spend on board, maybe in the spa, maybe shopping. Pick something extra to enjoy on us.
Well, I can say as somebody that did use EasyDiz for my sailings, great company to work with. Obviously, you're my featured guest here every week, so I trust everything that you have to say, and I trust you to handle my vacations as well. I'm really, really excited you got a chance to experience this ship in its infancy and share all of the awesome details with us. I look forward to the next couple shows that we do specific to this show, to this ship as we talk about it. Have a great week.
You too. I wish everybody a wonderful week.
And that's a wrap this week on Let's Talk Diz. If anyone you know could benefit from this or any show, please share, have them like, and subscribe. And don't forget to reach out to the folks at EasyDiz by Instant Impressions Travel Services for any Disney destination planning. Make it a great week. And as always, keep making memories.